I've got a lot of stories today. Stories that will change your life. Probably won't change your life. Maybe not changed my life, but certainly helped me. Shaped my life? Maybe shaped. Maybe just kind of like when I'm in the car with my wife. She's like, go in the other lane, it's faster. Like maybe that. Does that change your life? You're going a little bit faster? Probably. But some of these changed my life. And it all circles back to Travis Hunter and Travis Hunter's confidence. I'm using Travis Hunter as the sports idea. But the other idea is changing your life. First story. And this is a little bit of a cheat code. It's a YouTube video that changed my life. So I like to draw a little bit. Am I good at drawing? No. But I was just, drawing. The algorithm serves me up a TED Talk about basically doodling. And the TED Talk is by Graham Shaw. Graham Shaw is doing a TED Talk, and these things are usually boring or self-important. And he starts the TED Talk with, how many people think they can draw? And a handful of people are like, yeah, I can draw, but most people don't. Most people keep their hands down. He's like, I'm going to teach you how to draw. I'm like, great, a drawing video. Odd for a TED Talk, but sure. He's like, here's how you draw. Make a little nose, a little C, and then make 2 6s and kind of color them in, and then make another little backward C over there for the ear. Make some spiky here. Make a little smiley face like this. Draw to the left of the smile, to the right of the ear. You got the neck, and then you do a little circle for the T-shirt. Then you go like that, and then you got this little guy, okay? I said, that's great. And then he does it the reverse, and that's the basic concept of it. Then at the end, he draws Albert Einstein, and you watch this little video, and it's very helpful, and all of a sudden, you can draw. I'm like, oh, good, I learned some tricks about drawing, and now I can draw a little man like that. What a good video. I'm going to go, watch Pet the Dog. And at the end, Graham Shaw says, let me leave you with some final note. Oh, is he going to give me notebook recommendations or perhaps some markers that he's fond of? He says, when I started out this TED Talk, I asked how many people can draw, and only 10% of you raised your hand. And then 10 minutes later, if I asked you again how many people can draw characters like this, you all can raise your hand. So how many things in your life have you told yourself that you couldn't do, but just with a little bit of work and a few little tweaks, all of a sudden you can do? I said, gosh darn it, Graham, you just changed my life. That's right. There's probably a lot. Fast forward, you know what I did for my New Year's resolution? Went and bought a guitar. I can't play the guitar. No kidding. I'd never held a guitar. I just go down there and said, the only reason I can't play the guitar is because I think I can't play the guitar because I can't. So I was working in Times Square. I go down to Guitar Center. I said, I can't play the guitar. I said, good news. You're in the center of all guitars, Guitar Center. Here's a guitar. Sign up for some lessons. Guess what I can do now? Play the guitar. Am I good at playing the guitar? No. But if you saw me on a beach somewhere by myself, I got a straw hat on and a pina colada underneath a palm tree, you would say, there's a guy playing the guitar because this guy told me I could. And we get so plastered with graduation speeches of like, you can do anything you put your mind to. And like, you hear it so much, it's almost in one ear, out the other. That's what I always say. But that one stuck with me. And the reason it has to do with Travis Hunter is this. When you talk about things that you can't do, how often are you telling yourself you can't do something that you actually can do? Travis Hunter doesn't do that. Travis Hunter did an interview, and they said, how many snaps do you think he could play? You can play in the NFL. And Travis Hunter's response seemed at the same time ridiculous and obvious. He said, all of them. I can play all of them if you give me a chance. I said, oh. But that's self-confidence. No one has told him that he couldn't. He just did it in high school. In fact, everybody did it in high school. Like, if I said, hey, remember that kid in your high school who played all the sports? You'd be like, oh, yeah, of course, I know. And then just say the person's name. And then if you run into that person at the bar when you go home for Thanksgiving, you still have this, like, crazy idea of him. You're like, yeah, I work in sports. We were talking about LeBron. You probably know LeBron. I was like, what? Oh, yeah, we're old. You probably know Tom Brady, though, right? It's like, buddy, I work at Electric Boat. Like, I'm not, it's still in your mind that this guy is like unstoppable. Well, Travis Hunter actually is. Travis Hunter was the guy in high school who did that, then went to Colorado and said, yeah, I'd like to play all the snaps. And Dion, who we'll get to, said, yeah, you should play all the snaps. We've never seen it before since Chuck Bednarik in the 30s, which I didn't see. I don't know if the games were on the internet. So it's the self-confidence of Travis Hunter that I love. Confidence number 2, precedent confidence. This is important too. You need to be able to see people walk the path that you would like to walk. And I think sometimes we just kind of gloss over the fact that Dion, who played 2 sports, professional sports in one day, was Travis's coach. So Travis, like, of course, if there was ever a doubt in Travis's mind that he couldn't do it, certainly Dion is there to gas him up and make him believe. And at the same time, there's critics, and I'm sure they mean well, that will say this about Travis Hunter. We've never seen it. We've never seen a guy do this before. Are you sure? Have you ever watched a Dodgers game? Like, we literally saw it 2 years ago. A guy was pitching and hitting. We have seen it. But it's different. It's different in football, Wilds. Okay, this is what we're talking about. 2 different skill sets happening at basically the same time. And we'll just do Heisman Trophy winners that Travis obviously won. We'll start with 1985. Bo Jackson out there at Auburn posing with a nice Easton bat and his shoulder pads. He can do both, and he can do both professionally. Quick sidebar. I looked up all the sneaker categories because I used to have Bo Jacksons when I was little. Here are all the sneaker categories there are now. Lifestyle, running, basketball, training, soccer, skateboarding, football, baseball, golf, tennis, and slides. You know what they were called in the 80s? Bo Jacksons. That's it. You got one pair of sneakers. You could do all that stuff. It had Velcro on it for stability. Bo Jackson was out there in aqua socks if he was surfing. But if you look at the Bo Jackson poster, he could also ride a bike and do equestrian in his Bo Jacksons because everybody could do more than one thing. A few years later, Charlie Ward goes to Florida State, wins the Heisman, says, I'd like to be drafted in the first round of football. Everybody said, nah, no thanks. Okay, I'll get drafted by the Knicks and play professional basketball. That worked. 1995, Ricky Williams gets drafted, plays 4 years of baseball. And they say, I should probably focus on football. He wins the Heisman. Can do more than one thing. All said, you know what? I'd like to have a little something to make me relax. I say, you can't do both of those things at once. Oh, it turns out you can. He was just early for his time. Now everyone's on board with what Ricky Williams was preaching for mental health years ago. 2012, Jameis got drafted. He wins the Heisman in baseball. He wins the Heisman 2013. Spring 2018, Kyler Murray gets drafted 9th. It's not like some late round draft pick. He's drafted 9th. Alex Boehm drafted 3rd. The Red Sox, Tristan Casas, drafted 15 spots later. 2018, Kyler wins the Heisman. Said, maybe I'll play baseball, maybe not. No. Moral of the story, you can do both. But you need to remember you can do both. You have to have confidence that you can do both. You need the precedent of doing both. Quick story. I was feeling itchy in my career. Not dissatisfied. And I didn't want to quit. But I was just like, I'm just kind of itchy. Like, I don't think I'm going to leave. But should I write? I was like, maybe I want to write. That was like a noble goal. Maybe I should write the great American novel. I didn't know what I was doing. I just felt itchy. I wanted to do something. I'd been in sports for a long time. I just felt itchy. And I talked to my friend. I don't know. I just feel strange about, like, what am I doing in my career? I just feel like I could do, I don't know, maybe I should leave. I always felt kind of cool. Like, then I left. Then I left and wrote a screenplay. It's like, wow, you're truly brilliant. Did he have health insurance? Like, kind of need it. In any event, my friend said, here's the problem. And I give this advice to people sometimes too, but I give him credit. He said, you think you're in the or business. Maybe you're just in the and business. I said, gosh darn it, you're right. That's all it is. Just be in the and business. Do this and that. It was so basic for me. Like, oh, if I feel like I want to do something, just add it. Like I asked Gianna, I said, Gianna, what is this that we're doing? Is it a podcast? Is it a YouTube show? Is it just a short? Is it an Instagram video? You know what she said? It's both. And a bunch of nothing as well. I said, Gianna, that hurts my feelings. So sad. Final thing. Strategic confidence. This might be the most important because everybody can be confident, but how are you actually going to get it done? So I think a fair question to Travis is, hey, how are you going to organize your day if you're going to play on both sides of the ball? You got to be in meetings over here, meetings over there. Like, it doesn't really add up. And then Travis said, well, there's 24 hours in a day. I sleep for 8 of them. And then the next 16 I spend on football. Okay, that'll work. Quick story. This is another basic story. It's kind of like my guitar story, which was actually a drawing story. I was writing for a newspaper in Manchester, Connecticut. It was an afternoon newspaper. That's how old I am. The paper, I was writing for a paper that would be delivered in the afternoon. So you would write during the morning, and then I think I don't know what time my deadline was, maybe 11-ish. But then you get off at like 12. But then at night, I would have to go to like town council meetings. So I had a big chunk of the day to do nothing. And I was in the middle of Manchester, Connecticut with no friends. So I would just go to the gym and nobody would be at the gym. So I'm at the gym and nobody's there. And the huge guy at the gym was like, hey, can I get a spot? And I looked over. The answer is always yes, right? Like, oh, yeah, of course. It's kind of an honor to be asked. I looked over and there's like a ton of weight on the bench. So I'm like, oh man, is there another like huge guy here? Maybe he's like trying to set a world record where we both are on the sides. It's just me. But the guy wasn't that big, but he's like obviously very strong. There's a ton of weight there. So he does his bench press, and I don't need to help that much. I'm always wondering, like, should I give like, you can do it? I didn't do it. I just quietly spotted the guy. I was like, wow. But I felt like I had to say something because now we're like friends and there's no one there. So I'm like, oh, that was good or something. It's a nice compliment. That was good. Thumbs up, buddy. That was good. This guy says, oh, you could do it. I said, no, I could not. No chance. I didn't say that. I said, well, very kind. I said, I blew him off somehow. I'm like, yeah, no, I couldn't. And then he says, it's just time. And I never heard that before. I had heard, it's nutrition and it's genetics and it's your program and it's all this stuff. He's like, no, it's just time. If you want to put this time in, you'll get stronger. He's like, I used to put more time in. I had never in my life just looked at it as time. And it recolored all of the advice that people give you, like when you're in college, like you guys can do anything you want. It's not necessarily because you're some special genius. It's just because you have a lot of time. And if you decide today, gosh darn it, I'm going to be one of the best accordion players in the world, and you dedicate enough time to it, you will be great at the accordion. Ask Weird Al Yankovic. He's the only one doing it, and it works. It's just time. So Travis has 3 things that I like. 1, a strategic confidence that he knows it's time. 2, the precedent confidence that he's seen other guys do it, including his head coach. And 3, the self-confidence and belief in himself that he can do it. And I hope that no one convinces him otherwise, and no one tries to shake that confidence. And you know what? That's also my dream for you.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get more from the show and to check out clips from other shows on FS1.